Hey, it's Antti. Some of you guys have been asking what gear that I use in my photography or retouching or whatever. So this time I'm gonna show you what's in my camera bag. So as I said, a lot of you guys have been asking what stuff that I use in my camera bag, what stuff that I have in my camera bag. And the camera bag that I'm carrying at the moment is this kind of a pretty normal camera bag that I've been using, kind of a good sized camera bag. I have of course these smaller shoulder bags, but the stuff that I carry in that basically everywhere are somewhere distributed in here, so I will start picking up and I explain what they are. So let's check first some of my computer related gear that I'm using. And before I go any further, be sure to check out my brand new digital artist masterclass online workshop that has been out for a couple of weeks. There's an early bird discount for that until February 28th, so be sure to pick that up if you want to check out all the stuff that I explain how I do my pictures, from creativity to marketing and all my retouching techniques. So be sure to check that out and pick up also the early bird discount using this link over here. Alrighty, so let's talk about computer gear first that I'm using. So my laptop that I'm using to retouch all my pictures and edit them, of course, Macbook Pro 15-inch. I think it's still in a way the latest, basically with everything that I could have in it. Really expensive, but I'm at the moment really allergic to PC, Microsoft products, so I'm using Mac products. There's always these MacBook users and Windows users, so I'm definitely one of these Mac users. I've been a Mac user for some time. Back in the old days when I was doing graphic designing and stuff like that, I was a pro PC guy. I didn't understand any of the Macs, but then of course when I get my iPhone and first iPads and MacBooks, I started to understand the ecosystem, and the other tool that I carry is definitely my cell phone, iPhone. So MacBook Pro is my main tool where I do my retouching. Additions to my MacBook, because of they ditched all the USBs and HDMI stuff, that I did a lot of research and I came up with this hyperdrive product. Maybe it'll focus this now. I will put it in the link below, but it has all the necessary ports, HDMI, couple of USB 3s, some memory card readers, and then USB-Cs that can pass the electricity also. I think it's a great product. As I said, I did a lot of research on these and I found out this might be the optimum and the easiest way to get all the needed ports to my MacBook Pro, and it's the same colored as my MacBook Pro. I will attach a link to this also below in the description. So what else in my computer gear? Hard drives. The hard drives that I use on location are laser rugged. I definitely prefer these. I have a bunch of these. This is a USB C version. I think this is a 2 terabyte. Fast, reliable. You can drop them, don't drop them. I like the orange color because you can see them like far away where's your hard drive. So on location I use these. Laser rugged, I will put a description also below. As a retoucher I use a Wacom tablet, and for me, since if you have watched any of my workshops or whatever, you know that I don't use much of a Wacom tablet features that they are included, so that's why I don't need any of these Wacom Pro tablets that has all these pressure sensitivity stuff and all the buttons. So I'm using a really simple Wacom Intuos Photo, nice size to carry around. Doesn't take definitely not much for space, and I can do all my retouching with this. And I'm using like a really small area anyways when I retouch. It's almost like a matchbox sized thing, and on the end there's a USB to USB C cable that I'm using, so I don't need necessarily use a dongle when I'm using. So I bought a bunch of these USB to USB C dongles that I can attach to these devices. So Vacuum Intus Photo Touch or whatever, but I don't use the touch features. I will put the description also, the link also in the description. Then some additional stuff for my vlogs and video stuff. I carry this almost like a selfie stick that I can put my cell phone in it. It's a Benro BK1, and I can use it as a tripod, and you know, on my trips it's a good place to, if I have only my cell phone, not my vlogging camera with me, so I'll do the vlogging with the iPhone. So small space, and you'll get a bit of a distance for you to make videos and maybe time lapses and so. And it is a Bluetooth connection, so good small tripod for your iPhone. So that's in my bag all the time. Extra battery with a flashlight, so that will be, you always need for your cell phone because I'm on travels. So some extra power. Then one thing, and again, if you have been in any of my workshops, the one thing, I actually made a video of what is my most important tool in my camera bag. So this is it, my portfolio. This goes everywhere I go, so it's a kind of a decent sized portfolio that I can explain to people what kind of pictures that I do. Some random good selection of pictures that explains my style, because everyone is a photographer. So when I say that I'm a photographer or digital artist, nobody knows what that means, what is my level. So I can bring this out from my bag and I give it to someone's hands and say, well, this is what I do. And of course I have my business cards in my bag too, so if they're interested I can, you know, give them. One thing before I go into my camera gear, this is Moleskine, my notebooks that I carry, and I doodle and sketch all the things. Again, in my workshop I explain why this is important, why analog is really important. I have my sketches here, stormy relationship that I draw, that's a lot of 2 years ago maybe. Work under progress, you don't know what that is. Because I like analogs, easier to sketch out something in my Moleskine. That goes everywhere I go. I'll put a description also in the below. So that's basically all the extra gear, but now we're going for my camera gear. So my main camera that I'm using is Fuji X-T2. I like this workhorse of a camera. All the buttons, all the ISO, everything, exposures in the lens, everything is there. Really nice EVF back screen. Only thing that I would like to have, that this screen would flip like the other way around, so I could use also this camera for my vlogs, but that's kind of the only drawback of this camera. I have my battery grip here to get my bit of extra punch in my power and work longer, but you can carry it like this. Couple of memory cards always in my camera. Amazing piece of a camera, and people say to me that, oh, you're shooting a crop sensor. Why not? For me, this is a perfect camera. I'm shooting, for example, I'm a workshop somewhere in middle of Europe and there's a huge sunshine. I can see straight what I'm doing outside through my EVF. I don't have to chimp my terrible back screen what kind of pictures I'm making. I can straight see from my EVF. The autofocus system is amazing in this camera. I mean, I'm really happy that I switched from Canon to these. My photography became more fun. I don't have to carry that bulky big thing with me. This is so much lighter. The lenses are top quality. And talking about lenses, the lenses that I'm using, if I need some shallow depth of field, or really kind of, I'm doing them like more like a portraits. This is a 56 millimeters 1.2 lens from Fujinon, and I will show you a couple of other lenses that I use. So my workhorse lens that is always on is this 16 to 55 2.8. I can do basically all my work with it. Usually I don't need that shallow depth of fields, and in my pictures, if you have seen my pictures, a lot of stuff are in sharp, so I like how this feels. Really sturdy, amazing lens. If for some reason I would need a bit of a length in my pictures, if I need to go the distance and shoot some, I don't know, birds, I rarely shoot any birds. So this is from 50 to 140, 2.8. It has a stabilizer. So if I need to do portraits from longer distance or shoot anything like that, this goes with me. This doesn't go always with me, but although those two lenses, the portrait lens and the 16 to 55 goes everywhere I go. So that's my camera gear, and of course the chargers are in my bag, and all the memory cards. The memory cards that I'm using, basically only I'm using is SanDisk Extreme memory cards. I don't trust much of any other brands. There you have, in a way, the tools that I have in my bag. Laptop gear, hard drives, you know, these to get stuff attached to, camera gear, lenses. Portfolio is a must, and then also my business cards and stuff like that. And then maybe on a vacation I will have a shirt or two there and some extra underpants. But I try to travel really, really light on my trips, and there you have it. Hopefully you'll get some kind of a view on what kind of a gear channel I'm using. Please comment in the below what kind of a tool you are using and what you think about my gear. Do you think it's a bad thing to have a crop sensor camera as working as a professional? How you feel about that? And I mean, put a thumbs up if you like these videos, and subscribe the channel. Definitely subscribe the channel if you want to get the fastest information about my videos. I think that's it this time. This was my camera gear, and be sure to check out my workshop. I would really appreciate that. Even if you go and check the introduction, you would understand what I'm talking about. And if you like to purchase that, that would be a perfect thing too. Maybe that was it. Yeah, I think this was it. I think we will see on my next video. Cheers.